Red Sea of Saudi Arabia, a coastline of over 1,000 miles, much of which has not changed since the dawn of time. This is the vast western region desert known as the Hijaz. Geologically impressive and mineral-rich indeed, looking like a Martian landscape. This is an amazing land. These sand dunes and mountains formed millions of years ago appear prehistoric to the human eye. Saudi Arabia is an expansive land of true beauty, where nature defines its essence. Arab poets have often called the camel the ship of the desert. Some have speculated that it may have been Abraham that brought camels from Egypt to Arabia. There have been camel etchings found on the many rocks and wadi walls of the Middle East dating back to between 3000 and 2500 BC. The Arabian camel is the one-humped dromedary. It can tolerate thirst for long periods of time. During the winter, camels can go 50 days without being watered. During the heat of the summer, they may only go 5 days without water. When walking, the camel moves both feet on one side of its body, then both feet on the other. The movement suggests the rolling motion of a boat, hence the camel's ship of the desert nickname. The camel has several features that make it well suited to desert life. They have broad, flat, leathery pads with 2 toes on each foot. When the camel places its foot on the ground, the pads spread, preventing the foot from sinking into the sand. The Bedouin have been dependent on these desert ships for many centuries for transport, meat, milk, skins for material, and ultimately trade and commerce. Conditions under which the Arabs lived began to improve around 1000 BC, as a method for saddling camels had been developed to transport large loads, and the camel was the only animal that could cross a large tract of barren land with any reliability. Historically, it was the ideas and people that traveled with the camel caravans that were the most important and influential. In short, camels created a bridge to the outside world. Gazing at this most recent old city of Yanbu, with its fine ornate distinction of wood carvings, lattice, and stonework, like a character defined, one can easily imagine ancient times. In 60 AD, a legendary port city of Luki Kom meaning white village, served as a shipping point for the Nabatean Arabs who ruled Saudi Arabia centuries ago. The port city of Luqiqum was called Jewel of the Red Sea, a bustling seaside market town. Due to unfavorable winds and the current conditions in the Gulf of Aqaba, the Nabatean Arabs would transport their frankincense and myrrh from Arabia Felix, modern-day Yemen, by boat to the port of Luqiqum. From that point they used the ships of the desert or camel caravans to the cities of Alexandria, Gaza, and Damascus. Some ancient historians deducted that the Nabateans moved their cargo all the way from Felix by camel caravan. Today, Luqiqum is counted among the world's lost cities. Despite various theories, modern explorers and archaeologists have been unable to locate the site of the fabled harbor town. Some scholars say that Luqiqum was probably located on the site of present-day Yanbu. However, the best anchorage between Jeddah and the Gulf of Aqaba is Sharm Yanbu, then known as Sharm Harbor, a natural inlet a few miles north of Yanbu. Over the millenniums, names changed, and Old Yanbu, at least for a period, was known as Igra by historians. It dates back at least 2,500 years, when it was a staging point on the spice and incense route from Arabia Felix. Is Luqiqum really Igra, aka Yanbu? Legend or lore, it's difficult to know for sure. However, we know that Luqiqum has been referred to as Yanbu, but the location of Luqiqum remains an enigma, and certainly Igra is located at the present site of this old Yanbu. Listening, we can hear the call to prayer as it has been for centuries beforehand, echoing through these alleyways. We can guesstimate that the people most likely vacated these dwellings around 50 years ago. Based on old photos, we do know that this old Yanbu was thriving with life at the turn of the 20th century, around 1900. Here, a civilization leaves footprints for us to admire and imagine the times before us. A lifestyle vanished forever, a sad but yet standing tribute to those past generations of humanity.